Morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Marcus in the morning, Monday. Hi, everybody. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday in the morning. It's time to shake off the cobwebs from the long weekend. Oh, all the cobwebs build up in the mind, right? If you leave it there, if you allow it to settle. I guess the big story. I haven't really been. I don't really follow the news, to be honest with you, on the weekend, unless it's a big event. Unless my house shakes from a bomb, or there's I smell smoke and fire coming from another state or from from a crater. I generally don't follow the news on the weekend, and I wake up in the morning on Monday, and it still seems like the narrative is war in Ukraine. The fog of war. The fog of war. We get mixed reports of what's happening. People are killing each other right now in your world. We're calling for at universities. There are people at universities like Tufts, for example, that are segregating their classes to some degree between white and other, right? As if that's going to somehow solve all the social problems in the world. And at the same time, that's one of the primary focuses of a place like Tufts University and many other what used to be known as prestigious universities in America are swinging in that direction. But all along, bombs are dropping. America is supplying one side of a war against their ongoing and theoretical enemy, Russia. And right now, Russia is fighting back. And although Russia may have started this conflict to some degree, you can go when Russia invaded. Why did Russia invade? Well, they saw a weakness, a soft spot. The Americans had been controlling Ukraine to some degree via the Democratic Party. Trump kind of, sort of, got in the middle of that, and then they vilified Trump, and the power vacuum occurred, and in came Putin to say, "Hey, man, it's already Russia. Might as well make it more Russia." And then the Americans backed the Ukrainians, who got conquered by the dirty Russians, with billions of dollars in weaponry, which they seem to now be throwing at each other, creating the deadly, bloody battle. If Ukraine would have been taken over by Russia without international intervention, it would have been a lot bloodier. Whatever your politics are, if you're saying, well, that's folding to Russian oppression and communism, well, that's in your mind. But the reality is, what is the less violent, the less nefarious route? I would say just letting fucking Russia take back Ukraine. Right? But right now, there's bombs showering down on Ukraine, mostly the unconquered areas like the main city in Kiev, and it doesn't look like, in my view, I don't see how Ukraine can prevail. They've already lost four of their areas, and the bombs keep falling from the Russian side. And what will ultimately happen, I would speculate, is that once Russia completely takes Ukraine, all of that weaponry and all of that money and all that power that the United States and the West and its NATO allies pump in will be seized by Russia. So in effect, you're not only exacerbating the war in Ukraine by your engagement, but you're also arming Russia more so. Right? There's no end to that one. It's you could make it the United States wants to make it a world war. they're now bombing, without, I could say it, and then someone will say, well, without evidence, the United States is bombing Russia's pipelines, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. They didn't just blow up mystically. And if you notice in the media, nobody's talking about it. Why isn't the American media talking about it? Talking about the Nord Stream 1 and 2 explosions in the Baltic Sea that took out Russia's pipeline. I would say because it leads back to the Americans. And what would we have in America if the media here actually did what it was intended to do, which was expose tyranny and corruption and make it go away? What would happen? You wouldn't have this. You would have what you would have is you'd have the mainstream media actually saying what's going on, which leads back to the Americans blowing up the fucking pipeline. So anyway, man. So good morning, everybody. Mark Scott reporting. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Weevil Girl, Vinny Martini is in the house on the wrench. Thank you very much, Vinny. Jonte Tactre, morning. Good morning. Good morning. Skillacrow is here. How you doing? John R. is with us, present, Champs, and all the others that are lurking and listening and wherever you are in the world. Maybe you're listening live and you're driving away. You're driving your semi down there in Oregon, as somebody commented in the chat. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining me. If you're watching the rerun, that's fine too. We're live, but we're timely. So if you're watching this early in the morning, you're pretty timely. You're ahead of the curve. You're a full-time observer. If you're watching later, you're a part-time observer. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. And what else? What do you got here? Yeah, so this is my thumbnail today. So the dirty Russians blew up a bridge in Crimea. Well, actually, the Russians didn't blow it up. The Russians are saying that Ukraine blew up the Crimea bridge. Crimea is a part of Russia that was taken back, so to speak, and it's controlled by Russia. And there seems to be one bridge that leads to it, so the people of Crimea and Ukraine, backed by $500 million in American arsenals, decided to blow the bridge the fuck up, right, and cut Crimea off from the mainland. Right. So Russia has claimed Crimea. You blow it up, you're now a terrorist. You're at war. You're at war with Russia. So what did Russia do? Russia links it back to Kiev and Ukraine, and then justifies their hit on Kiev. We blow you up in Kiev because you blew up our bridge, says Putin. It's a never-ending cycle of violence. It's going to keep going. Right? It keeps going. The object to stop the violence is to stop the violence. You don't give $500,000 in guns to somebody and expect the violence to go away, America. Joe Biden, and other fine people of political stature. You don't give weapons to somebody and then pray for nonviolence on the political, stage. Now, you could make an argument, as I was saying that, you could make an argument that arms possession by individual citizens is somewhat of a strength, and I agree with that. But in this scenario, this is not a organic arming of the people. This is a foreign entity coming in and offering guns to be shot at their enemy. We'll give you the gun. We'll give you the bomb. We'll give you the helicopter. Shoot at our enemy, Russia. They hacked our election. They hate Hillary Clinton. They lied about Joe Biden and his son's laptop. Putin's an animal and a dictator. It's communism. Oh, the word. They haven't even pulled that word out yet. Communism. So that's my thumbnail today. Thank you everybody for joining me. Mad Cow Mark says Russia and the latest Ukraine government had agreement that Ukraine would never apply to join NATO. Right. Right. If the Americans really and the West really wanted Ukraine to be part of their little party, they would have offered them NATO alliance and NATO membership a long time ago. They still will not offer Ukraine NATO support. Right? They're not part of NATO. Why? I thought you loved them so much. No, they didn't love them so much. Remember, the United States was vilifying Ukraine not even 2 years ago. Right? He's siding with Trump. You remember the hysteria? He's siding with Trump. Trump was in a conversation with the president of Ukraine discussing prosecuting Joe Biden and his son over quid pro quo. And there Zelensky was vilified, right? So what does Russia do? Russia sees the opportunity. That's what they do. They bully their way in. They push into Ukraine. They know that the United States was vilifying Ukraine. So we'll take it. We'll go in there and take it, right? And then what happens? The United States suddenly switches sides. Ukraine is not as big an enemy anymore as Russia. You see how the insurgency wars, these types of interventionism. That's what the progressive wing of the Democratic Party calls it. People like Tulsi Gabbard and others will say it interventionism. Even Tucker Carlson. When we intervene, right, we create a fucking mess. We need to stop doing that. So thank you to everybody for joining me, and we'll explore those points. That is my website. I have one. My name is Marcus Conti. I'm live every morning somewhere, somehow. Whether people want to hear it or not, I'll be here. I know you guys want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear what I'm going to say. Like, you got to become your biggest fan in this, right? Because I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. When I do something like this, I just talk. I speak from the heart. I breathe in and I let it go. I call it as I see it. And so should you. Damn it. So here's my website, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Odyssey, BitChute, DLive. We're everywhere. Twitter, Getter, Truth Social. We're here. We're live every morning at 9 a.m. That's how this works. Every morning at 9 a.m. Right now we're on YouTube. You're watching the recorded version on YouTube. All the people on the side are on YouTube live right now. Say hello. And we do this every morning at 9 a.m. If that fails, we move over. Sometimes, platforms fail for whatever reason. They get their balls tied in a knot, or they get sand in their vagina, whatever the reason is. When that happens at YouTube, we switch over to DLive. We switch over to DLive, and we stay there until the coast is clear, and then we come back. So Artemis still on the ground, scheduled for a blast off. We'll look at the markets at 9:30. It looks like we're going down again today. Big numbers coming in this week. CPI number, the rate hike may occur this week as well, another rate hike. But here's the stories. I mean, those are the two. Like I said, I try to what I observe is this: is that during the pandemic, there's a phenomenon known as fear harvesting, right? The fear was epic during COVID-19, during the pandemic. You had people scared shit that they were going to die. They were wearing 3 masks, some of them wearing masks in bed. They were walking out on the street in the fresh air by themselves wearing a mask. Epic fear, right? And then when I guess the people that they were listening to told them that the pandemic was over and that you don't need a mask and you don't need 7 injections, they felt fear. They felt betrayed. Oh my God, nobody cares about the pandemic anymore. Oh, I'm so it's fear, but it's also sorrow. Uh, um, what's the other thing? Kind of separation disorder, if you will. Right? And now it got transferred. They harvest that fear. Everybody's fearful. And what happens? Now you got nuclear war. Right? Like that. Almost overnight, people are, it seems, mainstream media infiltrated with not Russia hacked the election nonsense, but war. So be afraid of nuclear bombs going off in your area. So this is the website, and we're live every morning at 9 a.m. All you got to do is join us. Look at this guy; he's live, and be part of it. Right? This is the most important. If you want to really support this kind of news, the best way to do it, in my view, is to more than sending me $500,000, which I'll gladly take, but it doesn't crash. I'm going to click the refresh button in the chat over here. I don't know what's going on. I want to see everybody rolling. We're rolling. We're rolling. There we are. Whoa. Let's start here. So this is a what's old is an interesting phenomena in America that marijuana and which was it's still classified as a Schedule 1 narcotic on the federal, trafficking fucking list. It's bad, right? While that's becoming legal, speech in college and speech online is becoming illegal. Think about that. Everybody do drugs and shut the fuck up. You can do drugs, but don't speak. Your doing drugs is less dangerous to us than you speaking. Right. Amazing, right? Amazing times we live in. I don't do drugs, I just smoke weed. Classification of drug. Isn't caffeine a drug? Isn't nicotine a drug? Isn't sugar a drug? Isn't the tips of certain mint plants that I harvest all the time a drug when you eat them? There's so many different, yeah, we can look at the worst scenario. Right? I'll give you a scenario. So I was walking in the this will probably be good. I was walking in the park yesterday, and I was mindful, and I was just I was walking and breathing, and I was enjoying myself breathing and seeing nature, and it was brisk, cold, maybe 50 degrees. Right? And there's no people, no humans around, right? And I have a couple of secluded spots that I go to in the park that I was in, and to be alone with my thoughts. And as I was sitting there, I found this very cool little spot, right? It was like hidden away with a rock to sit on, and the sun was coming through, and there was no people. It was just totally by yourself, totally one, and I one with nature. And I look down and I see first I saw a beer bottle, and then I saw a needle, a syringe, right under the rock. Right in that beautiful spot, right? And what it tells me is that why does someone go to a place so beautiful and resort to something so devastating, right? Now, I don't think that there were fresh herbs in that needle. I don't think that it was a vaccine needle. I don't think it was an insulin needle. I assume that it was some sort of heavy narcotic that woke somebody up at that moment so that they could feel something, right? Not able to experience the nature and the beauty around them, I thought it was very telling. I thought it was very it talks about what's going on in America right now. Why can't people see the beauty in what's going on rather than reach for some sort of narcotic, heavy shit to put them into a stupor and maybe get, you know what I mean? So I don't know what to make of that. I'm still digesting that story, but when I saw it, I thought to myself, there's no peace, right? There's no peace there. Right? But anyway, man. So that was my little story there. So marijuana is slowly becoming very, very legal in America. And if you had it looks like if you had a conviction of cannabis, and it was low level in a legal state, it's now expunged. So good for you. Good for you, man. Suicide rates rise. U.S. military seeks to address mental health. There is I saw the number, 40% rise in, here it is. According to Defense Department data, suicides among active duty service members increased by more than 40% between 2015 and 2020. The numbers jumped by 15% in 2020 alone during the pandemic. In long-time suicide hotspot postings such as Alaska, service members and their families contend with extreme isolation. I don't know what to do with myself. I hear a lot of people say that. I don't know what to do with myself. I need to stay busy. When I'm in my own mind, when I'm busy, I don't think about myself. I got to keep busy. And then suddenly you're not busy and you're inundated with yourself. Why don't you learn to deal with yourself, and then you won't have to be so busy and you can enjoy your life. That's what I say. So I would say that extreme isolation and harsh climate is not the cause of suicide, but there's something else going on. Maybe it's something else. Why are our soldiers killing themselves? Right? Why don't you give them somebody to kill? That's why they join the military, right? To shoot a gun at somebody. I'll kill. They go to high school and they find the angriest fucking young people, like, you know, the fucking, you know, the class bully. Say, hey man, you want to kill? How you feeling? How's your life going? Drafts young people into the military-industrial complex. Not the draft per se, where they're doing it involuntarily. I'm talking about the other one, the poverty draft, where you make somebody so poor and so violent and so in need of something, and then you draft them into the army, where they become somewhat civilized for a little while until you instruct them to kill somebody else. Right? You're harvesting their fear. You're harvesting their violence, placing it on the enemy, in my view. So I don't even know what we're reading here. So suicide rates, poor soldiers killing each other. So let's talk about Kiev, man. Let's talk about the bombings. Oh, my God. I might have to, I think I have to refresh this. What is this? What is this? Oh, yeah, here we go. So look at this. Oh, looks like it was another video, right? It was another video. So this is what's going on in Kiev right now. It's serious. I mean, bombs are fucking blowing up on the street. Very quiet. People bleeding. Speaking Russian, I believe. What a tragedy, man. Tough people. Tough old folks, man. They got a piece of shrapnel on my fucking head. I'm still here. So here's the images, again, coming out of Ukraine. I know we have a war going on there, but the latest in Ukraine is that the Russia launched a fresh hell across Ukraine Monday with deadly missile strikes on several cities, including the capital, Kiev. A horrifying escalation that Ukraine President Zelensky insisted was trying to wipe out his country off the face of the earth. Russia wants to wipe us off the face of the earth. No, they don't. They just want you to stop taking the guns from the dirty Americans and stop shooting at us, and we'll have peace. At least 81 cruise missiles. Russia, man, flexing their fucking muscle, man. No, they're not taking no for an answer. Hey, Joe Biden, guess what? You lost this one. Stop. Stop the killing, Joe Biden. No one can stop the killing. There's one person who could really stop the killing, and that's Joe Biden. Stop the killing. Give Zelensky asylum. Let him come peacefully on his own out of Ukraine to America. Let him land in New York and give him asylum. And that's the end of it. Right? He can go to work for CNN. He'll have a job. Right? It's not retreat. It's not running away. There's enormous strength in surrender when you admit that you're wrong and stop fighting to the death. Right? You're putting people at risk. Stop the war. Zelensky, surrender. Go to New York. Go to fucking London. Right? Wherever they're backing you. And just get off the plane. You've got money. We know you got money. In the United States, you could buy citizenship for $20 million. We'll comp you here. You won't even have to pay. We'll get you a Zelensky. If Zelensky landed in New York within a week, he would have a U.S. passport, full asylum, and every other protection under the law as an American citizen. Very, very quickly. Right? So I think that's his way to go. Right? Get out of there. Get out, Zelensky. Get out while you can. I know you sided with Trump. Trump hates you. And then Trump gets elected in 2024. Imagine that. And he goes after Zelensky. You're a motherfucker, man. Trump and Zelensky. This is Trump. Trump says, Zelensky, you're a motherfucker. You had all the goods on Joe Biden and his kid, and you didn't do anything. And Zelensky's like, what do you want me to do? I'm supposed to, they're throwing me in, they wanted to throw me in jail. They're fucking, and now the Russians. Right? The Russians would have never come in, Trump. The Russians would have never come in if you would have just listened to me, man. If you would have given me the fucking information on Joe Biden, we wouldn't have had him in there. I was like, well, Mr. Trump, I don't know. It's right. It's ridiculous, right? They're fucking two crybabies. So here's the imagery coming out. Russia launched a fresh hell. A horrifying escalation that the Ukraine President Vladimir Putin, right, is going to wipe us off the, Zelensky is going to wipe us off the face of the earth. Explosions. This is no laughing matter. I'm not laughing at it. I'm trying to laugh with it. Explosions were reported in Lviv, Ternopil, a bunch of western Ukraine areas, and some in central Ukraine and south Ukraine, many hitting at rush hour. Ooh, dirty Russians are dropping bombs during rush hour. In Kyiv, distressing images caught blood-soaked citizens walking through still blazing streets. Let's look at the photos. Hey, listen, man. If this happens, when it happens here, then people will realize what's happening. Right now, it's over there. That's how many Americans view it. Like, we're watching this right now. My windows aren't cracked. My street, there's no missile crater in my street. All the trees are still standing up and they're not burning. Nobody knows anything, right? You go outside, there's no sirens, no fucking smoke, nothing. Right? But in Ukraine, a different story. Now, if this should happen, you remember, I'll refresh your memory. You remember 9/11? You remember when the city of America burned? You remember when New York got hit by a fucking bunch of psychopaths that flew, planes into a building or however they got in there? Remember that? You remember when the buildings fell and we saw the images just like this of burned out buildings and people bleeding in the street? Act of war. Right? We witnessed an act of war. These people are witnessing the same act of war. Right? In there, and what I'm trying to bring up is, do you remember how that felt to see your people, right, getting crushed like that? That's what Ukraine is dealing with right now, right? And someday, when World War III makes it over to the side of the pond, right, and it looks like it will at some point, then we'll change our tune. Then it's serious. Then something else should happen, right? Or maybe not even. Maybe the cities of America never burn. Maybe the whole thing burns at once in a nuclear blast. Right? We don't really know. We don't really know. Like I say, if a bomb goes off, if the Russians throw a nuclear, bomb at somebody, even if it's very small, even if it's a suitcase size that blows out half a city, and the that's a lot, half a city, a tenth of a city, and the Americans respond by blowing up half a city, right? The next move is unpredictable, right? Because Russia threw their little weapon, America one-upped it with a bigger weapon. The next move is anybody's guess, right? Hold your fucking nose, man. Hold your nose. So this could be, right now, this is Kiev. In 2001, this was downtown New York City. Look the same, firemen. They're so patriotic. Oh, buildings on fire. This could be 9/11, right? It's Ukraine's 9/11, right? The dirty Russians. The politics. This is politics, right? Because Joe Biden and Zelensky and Trump. Is it that simple? Is the reason why this is happening that simple? Yeah. It's power vacuum. It's egomaniacs. Oh, here's the image. This is the one I was trying to look. So watch this image. Watch this. This is the bridge that connects Crimea. Crimea, right? It's the only bridge that connects the Crimea peninsula. And watch. Allegedly, the Ukrainians blew it up. Watch this. This has America written all over it, by the way. Boom. Blow up the bridge, man. Blow the motherfucker up. Imagine if you were on the bridge. Right? This shit is crazy. Look at this. They blew the bridge up. Bang, zoom. Here's a glass bridge. All right. Save the dogs. Save those dogs. What are you gonna do with your pet when the fucking Armageddon strikes? Same scene as this could be. This looked like downtown Manhattan during the riots. Antifa, right? Fuck the police. Burn everything. This was happening to a lesser degree right on the streets of America, not even 2 years ago. But flash back to 9/11, and the images are strikingly similar, except now it's coming there, right? And what happens when it comes here, right? Right? People don't forget that, right? When something blows up over there, you're like, oh yeah, shit, something blew up over there. We're fine over here, right? But when it blows up over here, then everything's about to change, right? Shit gets real fast. So that's what's going on in the war. I want to talk about this story. I don't like this story, but I want to talk about it because maybe Robert Fellows said 6 people died in the bridge attack. 6 people dead on that bridge. So, let's look at the market. Ding, ding, da ding, da ding. Markets are open. It's 9:41 New York time. And we are looking, Dow's up 166, NASDAQ down 49. Not a happy day for stocks. Everything's green. Everything's green and red. We had a bad day on Friday. Friday, hell broke loose, and the markets went down. And I mean, look, in my view, although I'm long a little higher up, I would say that this is a buy opportunity right now. You got to buy the weakness. You got to buy the hell. Like if you buy Qs right here at 267, at some point in the 2-year future, this will be $400 or $500. It will go up, right? Because that's just what markets do. Don't wait till it goes up. You buy it when it's down. It seems like these are close your eyes and buy times right now, although it doesn't seem like that. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, they're all kind of flat right now. Right? My read on this is flat. Military industrial complex stocks are, let's see, way up. Look at this. Lockheed Martin. We've got war. Raytheon. Look at this. What happened with Lockheed Martin? Why is Lockheed Martin up 13 points in one fucking day? Look at this, man. We're going up. We're going up. We were 380. Now we're going up. We're going up. That's a buy right there. I don't know what just happened with Lockheed Martin, but something happened. And you see how strong the military stocks are. There you go. Right? Guys who make bombs. There's bombs going off, and right? Got to protect ourselves. We need more bombs. More bombs is the way to have peace. So let's look at this. Tufts, a prestigious university somewhere. I believe it's in Pennsylvania. Tufts University slammed for suggesting diversity series should be separated by race. So universities across America are teaching critical race theory at the highest levels of academia. It's a theory that states that all human interaction is a result of racist intervention, racist karma, racist violation, where people of one color discriminated against people of another color because they were another color. And there is no justice and there is no peace in a world dominated by the other color. That one must become, there must be a homogeny in skin color before peace can occur. Right? An incredibly specific focus and obsession with the pigment in one's skin, because from that stems privilege and all the other things racist America accuses another side of being. So let's read the statistics. Tufts University is suggesting that people attending a full discussion series should be split up for the talks according to their race. Let's look at the details. So this is the class. A series brings together participants university-wide who aim to interrogate their understandings of the whiteness as a social construct that works in sometimes hidden ways to give rise to racial injustice in the United States. So understand whiteness is a social construct that people put together. Yeah, it is a social construct like everything else. Right? Everything is a social construct. It's right, but it's also a theory. It's not real. Right? Whiteness, white people don't walk around saying, "Oh, we're white. We're whiteness. We have whiteness." They don't do that. Right? You identify them, the other, as white. And you snap your label on them, and then thereby creating a dualistic situation. They're white and we're other. Right? You create that. You're creating that. Why not say we're all Americans and those people over there are not? Right? Well, that's not working out so well, so let's go for race. So, and amazingly, social construct that works in sometimes hidden ways. Shh. So you can't see it. You can't see what's happening. Let's look at the details of this. Understanding the dialogue, the unique dialogue that takes place in spaces of education, unlearning, healing, and cross-cultural dialogue. Now, that's a new word. What does unlearning mean? What does it mean? I know what learning means, but what does it mean to unlearn? Unlearning is the process of realizing that something which we learned earlier is incorrect. Oh. Unlearning, of course. All right, so you're sitting in a class, and we're not telling you you're incorrect. We're just helping you to unlearn. Yeah, it's this is bizarre, right? Very bizarre. While the bombs are falling in Ukraine, colleges in America are teaching students by unlearning. Unlearning is the process of realizing that something which we learned earlier is incorrect, ineffective, or obsolete. Right? Admitting it and deciding to erase such bad conditioning and misconcepts from our minds for good. Okay, now we understand what they're talking about. Let's read it again. Understanding the unique dialogue that takes place in spaces of education, unlearning, healing, and cross-cultural dialogue. Tufts University now offers 2 dialogue series sessions that bring together small groups of participants from across Tufts who aim to integrate their understanding of whiteness as a social construct that works in sometimes hidden ways to give rise to racial injustice in the United States. Sometimes hidden ways. What is a hidden way? You mean in someone's mind, in the back of their mind, you think that they're looking at you and because you're black and they're white and you know it's hidden in their mind because I took a course at Tufts and they told me in your mind you're hiding the fact that you're racist, right? And so what comes out of that person's mind, out of their mouth, is, see, you got hidden racism. And the person that's being attacked with this nonsense then steps up and says, I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like you have a problem with race. And there becomes the racial dialogue. Now you're in a debate with a person who has been badly gaslit in a university where they took a class being told that you have hidden racial injustice in your fucking mind. Right? It's ridiculous. Right? It's ridiculous shit, right? So, Radical Healing Dialogue Series. Radical Healing creates an important safe space for the staff and faculty at Tufts, whose racial demographics are categorized by whatever fucking symbols these are. Black, indigenous, people of color, while the other one is often interpreted to mean black. It is neither limited to black. This is retarded talk. How might you determine if radical, what is this word? Racial? Radical healing is a dialogue designed with benefits to fit your needs. Now, you know what the university professors will say when you try to look at and try to analyze what it is they're talking about? They'll say, see, you're confused about race. You should take our class and you'll learn something. Right? And they smile. I too, with all their teeth. And they smile and say, oh, see, you're confused. You don't know what we're talking about, so why don't you take our class and we'll teach you. And we'll show you how to unlearn. Right? We'll help you unlearn. That's the word of the day, unlearn. Right? We're going to teach you how to unlearn what you learned. Right? Not make up your own mind, not listen to all sides and then be free to express your inner finding, but we're going to help you to unlearn, right? And if you don't like it, put your mask on, get your 12 vaccines, or get the fuck out of here. So you can't make it up, man. There it is. There's another class. Unpacking whiteness. Unpacking whiteness. Tufts University. This is not the Black Panthers having a little powwow in the bowels of Jamaica, Queens, with all blacks pumping their fists in the air. This is Tufts University, Ivy League. Where is Tufts? I think Tufts is in Philly. Tufts. Where's Tufts University? Private school. Boston. There you go. Boston. Tufts. Tufts. Is it in Boston? Yeah, Greater Boston. So they're over there in Boston. Creates a place for participants to find community and support in learning and understanding how to practice anti-racism in their daily lives. Anti-racism is an active and ongoing process of identifying and eliminating racism by changing systems, organizational structures, policies, practices, and attitudes. in a way that redistributes power, policy, and structure to be more equitable, while drawing attention to the lived experiences of black people, indigenous people, and people of color. I definitely want to flock to that class and sit there. And if I did, I guess I would be an older white man sitting there, being attacked and being forced to, because I don't agree with you. And there's nothing, look, Tufts University professors, if I were sitting in your classroom, there is nothing that could change my mind about what you're doing. Nothing that you say could change my mind about what you're doing. You are telling me that you want to change systems, organizational structures, policies, and practices, but you never tell me you want to change yourself. You say at the end, I want to change attitude, but not really. Your attitude about changing other people and helping others to unlearn and believe you're garbage. Right? You never talk about changing yourself. Why are there still projects in the middle of very lucrative, upwardly mobile Brooklyn, New York? Why are there projects in ghettos with people with nothing still, and they're all fucking black? Well, 80% of them are black. They can't even stretch their food stamps for a month because they can't do it. Why is that? Why is that? Is that my fault? Is that some organization's fault? No, it's the fault of the people there that can't see that they're trapped and will not work to untrap themselves. Instead, they go to Tufts University and say, see, it confirms that I was right and they're wrong. You're racist. It starts with the self. You gotta stop. You gotta stop it in yourself. So here's some more pictures of the Ukraine war. Let's watch the bridge get blown up. Fun. Russians are trying to make it bridge for bridge. Let's watch the bridge. This is a glass bridge, I believe. It's going to blow up at some point. Oh, there it goes. Bang. Whoa, wow, pow. So this is real war, man. They're blowing up each other's pipelines now. They're blowing up bridges. Real war. Boom. That's real war right there. You're watching real acts of war in real time. This is not a theory. This is not a theory about what might happen. This is actual fucking war going on right now. And here you see the subways in the subways over there in Ukraine are becoming fucking bomb shelters. Everybody get down into the bomb shelter. Get into the bomb. Let's see what's It's on the streets of Ukraine. Happening right now, man. Happening right now. Look, I was there in 9/11. I know what the debris looks like. I know what it smells like. I know what it sounds like when it falls. And that was, 9/11 was an act of war. It happened right in New York City and in Washington, D.C., and in a field in Pennsylvania somewhere. These are acts of war that we're seeing, right? Acts of war. What's happening? So there you go. What was
beneath all of this emergency
what was once part of very, very stable Ukraine is now a fucking ball of fire, man. Buildings are getting blown up. World War III. World War III. So what else? I think I got one else. Oh, yeah, Hong Kong. Look at this. I should have put the story at the beginning. Hong Kong giving away 500,000 free airline tickets to restart tourism. Wow, that's a great idea. Right? That is one great idea. Look at this, Hong Kong. Hong Kong took a hit. Hong Kong took a hit during the pandemic. Nobody wanted to go there anymore because the dirty Chinese took over. Country used to bring in close to 56 million visitors per year. Now, not so much. So they're giving away. I'd fucking line up to get that. You want to give me a free ticket to Hong Kong? Hey, Hong Kong, if you're listening, send it over, man. Email me and send it over. And I will be there and I will walk the streets of Hong Kong and make video and tell the world what a beautiful place you got. That's a good thing, I think. I think that's a great idea. They want to bring people back. No more quarantine, no more masks, no more forced injections. Come on down. We'll even give you a free ticket. So different, very, very, very different tone in Hong Kong, China-controlled Hong Kong right now, giving away tickets to encourage tourism. Pow. So I got teeth. Crooked teeth? No, I got no teeth, motherfucker. No teeth, man. So thank you all for joining me. My name is Marcus Conti, and I think I'm spent right now. I think I'm done. Love you all. Let me grab the piano. Let's see how the market is doing. Market's still teetering left, right. So I don't know what else to say, man. We live in war times, man. War fever is running high. War fever is running high. That's the button I want to hit. War fever running high. All right, man. So thank you all for joining me.